Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the US Mid website, and I don't even know why I'm on here now officially. The one product that I really wanted to get this month was what they call in the business an Insta sellout. What that essentially means is the product was already sold out before it even went on sale. So the product that I was looking to obtain, because number one, there's a certain coin in here with an extremely low mintage. All right, it's going to be the S Mint Business Strike Sally Ride quarter. But number two, my ultimate kind of like capitalistic nature of good old blue is to buy a number of these to resell. And boy, are they selling for a boatload of cash. We're going to check out and see how much these are really selling for, so that way I'm not blowing smoke up all your yoo-haws, hoo-haws, and hee-haws out there. But yeah, I had done the remind me notification on both these products. What I didn't do, good old Paula told me that I should have done it a while ago, was to sign up for their American Women's Series monthly subscription service, where I would be guaranteed some of these. So what's the big deal? They're just quarters, right? They're quarters that are made and intended for circulation. Now, if you guys have been living under a rock and saw the Maya Angelou first release at the beginning of the year, that thing sold out quick. It was an insta sellout. I kind of needed to see it for myself. Paula had mentioned that more than likely it was going to be sold out even as the time dropped. Right now, it's 9:09 Pacific Standard Time. These things went on sale at 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 12 o'clock for all you folks there on the East Coast. And I actually went to this page right here with the product from the email that I had entered into the Remind Me function, which allowed me to automatically zoom to this page right here where I could go ahead and buy my product. Like I said, this is something I've told a lot of people, a lot of my viewers, that if you're interested in a US Mint product, this is what you needed to do. You needed to do that Remind Me function. Get yourself a text message. Get yourself that email for the product, so that way you don't have to type in the URL and then skip over 3-4 screens just to get to the product, because there's going to be a monumental amount of US Mint kind of slowdown through their servers. It just can't handle it, baby. It just can't. And with good reason. It's because of products like this. However, for those of you that were able to get in on the American Women Quarter Series subscription service, congratulations. You would have gotten at least one set of whatever you want. Now, the one that I really wanted was the 3-roll set, the P, D, and S, at $54 a piece. Okay, yeah, fine. It's $24 above face value. Who gives a flying F? But this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the hidden gem in all of this. The P and D, you can make an argument. It's like, man, whatever, especially the Denver Mint mark, because there's not a whole lot to look at there. The Philadelphias, at the very least, you could hunt out some of those errors. If you guys saw the Maya Angelou quarters that released in January, you would have seen a lot of errors. People were selling them for as high as $30 to $40 for these little die chips that's sitting on the corner of Washington's mouth. There was even one with a reverse cud. I actually have one of those. I bought one of them. Those were selling for about $40 to $50. But people saw this as a good way of not only finding some of these cool little errors, but also making some money in the process. I mean, you can't fault people for that. If you're willing to put in the work, you might as well get some easy free tendies in the process. So, the PDNS Trio Rolls, which is $30 face in quarters, was the one I wanted. Yeah, I would be willing to pay $54 per set of 3. I was looking to buy about 5 sets of these, which came out to $270 for those of you keeping track. But the This ultimate sleeper in all of this that's really driving a lot of the value and desire for this is going to be the S-Mint Business Strike. They also call it a circulation strike. It was a coin that was made and intended for circulation. However, here's the caveat. The S-Mint coins were only available through the US Mint, specifically in this particular release every year. And yeah, sure, they were made as uncirculated coins, but they were also called NIFCs, not intended for circulation, kind of like today's dollar coins, the American Innovation coins. As you can see, I opened up a number of those a few days ago with just disastrous results because the quality was just absolute garbage. But also the Kennedy half dollars too. If you're looking to find 2022 Business Strike Kennedy half dollars, you would have to buy them on the US Mint, and therefore you can't really find them in circulation. They weren't made that way. But the S-Mint quarters, there's 40 per roll. And if we scroll down here, you will see that only 7,620 sets were available for purchase for this particular one at $54. So that puts the S-Mint at 40 quarters per roll times 7,620. And I actually have the total right here on my iPad. Comes out to 304,800 pieces. That is an extremely low mintage for that quarter. And that has been the main driver as to why people are looking to pick these up. And people are paying big money on the secondary market to obtain, more importantly, the S-Mint roll, because it is a low mintage. And what people are going to do is they're going to crack open the rolls. They're going to find some grade-worthy coins and they're going to send it out. If it's like any other Business Strike product, you better believe that the coins will look a lot like the American Innovation dollars that I opened up last week. So there's a lot of big chase here involved, and at a relatively low price of $54, it's pretty easy to see why a lot of people were looking to get into the program. Now, at this point, if you're looking to get into the monthly or the subscription plan where you're guaranteed a certain amount of these quarters at the time of drop, you can't do it. They're all sold out. Their allocation has been fulfilled at this point. So folks like me who want to get into the program can no longer do so. But the 100 coin, just Philadelphia mint bags are currently unavailable as well. All right, those are $40 a piece. And the Denvers, don't know if there's any here of this one. Let's see what it looks like here. This one also unavailable, so that one's sold out. And then finally, the 2-roll set of P&D quarters at $36, also unavailable. So by the time I put in my 5 quantity count of PD&S rolls into my cart, I went in to check out, and there was a message that said that this is no longer available. I'm going to have to take these out of my cart. And that's at 9 o'clock, which these went for sale. So what had happened was the computer system and all the internal stuff fulfilled all of the orders over here from the subscription service and had essentially wiped out the par level for that particular product, even though it was made available on the US Mint website. If you wanted to drop in and actually buy the things, you couldn't do that because all 7,620 sets of these rolls were unavailable. They were gone. It was an instant sellout. It sold at hour 0 or minute 0 is a good way of putting it. I might actually use that for my title for this video. But that's what we're looking at there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any. And that's okay. Some people are going to say, well, you don't deserve it. You're just going to go and resell it. I'm like, yeah, that's what people do. That's how we make money on the side, you know. I don't hate the player, hate the game, because everybody's doing it. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the let's go ahead and look at the Maya Angelou. Roll. Let's see if this will come up here. Now we have just a regular, I guess the regular rolls that you could get at your bank. Those are on there. There you go. So $225 is kind of like the average for the 3-roll set. That's the P, D, and S. All right. This one also had that same 303,000 mintage for the S Mint coins. So they are quite limited, very exclusive. But here you go. Here's one that's sold for a best offer. Don't really know how much it is. We'll just assume $200. But if we go on down the line and find our next one here, here's a P and D set that's sold for 60. P and D. So we need that P, D, and S. Here's a P and D that's sold for 84. So even the Philadelphia and Denver sets are selling for double. Yeah, double, right? Because it's $36. So that's pretty good. 49 here. They kind of underachieved. Keep in mind the sold dates, March 20th. All right, there you go. So here's a PD and S set. Of course, it has the S Mint in there. 3-roll set, straight from the US Mint. It's even got the stock number for the item from the US Mint website. With shipping, $194.45, which signifies nearly 3.5 times your money. It's a really great profit margin for these. But unfortunately, throughout the last 3 releases for this year of the American Women's Series quarters, if you're not part of the subscription service, unfortunately, we are out. And that's okay. All right? The first ones that are able to strike in this will ultimately have a little bit of a windfall. Now, the only thing I'm not sure of is how many of each set can you get under the subscription service? Is it just a dedicated 1 count for every single customer? I'm going to have to ask Paula that. Maybe she could clarify in chat or in the comments below, because more likely she'll watch this. But there you go. Yeah, free easy tendies right there. 225. Here's one that sold for 240. Jesus. Wow. That is 4.5 times your money right there at this particular sale. And there's not a whole lot of them out there. Here's one at regular auction. 22 bids. Probably didn't need to do that because they're an easy sell at $200 and up. I would have just thrown it up as a buy now. You know, sure, it might take a few days to sell, but it will sell out. Especially if you're one of the cheapest on eBay at that given time. So that is my story for this morning. A huge swing and a miss on the Sally Ride US Mint PD and S quarter set. I was not surprised. I went on here to help kind of test Paula's theory and all of this, because we had a live stream last night and we talked about it just briefly after we had ended our live stream. And she mentioned that there was a possibility that these were not going to be available this morning for purchase. So I tested the theory, and now I could no longer try through the last 3. It's a real shame, too, because there's a good chunk of money to be made here, especially if you're able to order multiple sets of these in quantity, and you're not going to find them any cheaper than you are on the US Mint website. But you kind of had to do the secret handshake deal with the subscription service early on. I would have to say probably a month or 2 ago, because right now it's no longer available. And yeah, I missed out. But that's why I wanted to talk about this morning, the Sally Ride process. Yeah, I got taken a ride for sure. And as you can see, I have not so great news to share with you this morning, but that's okay. For those of you that actually entered into the subscription service, would love to hear your thoughts on how the process goes. Because the sale is automatic, I would assume, and your card gets charged. But are you only able to get one of each product if you had to, or if it came down to it? Or can you order multiples of any one of the sets that's available on here? Would love to hear your guys' thoughts. But that's going to go ahead and do it, my Coinaholics. I am Sean with BlueRidgeSilverhound. Always a pleasure. Thank you for all the views and support through the years. Love you guys. And that's going to go ahead and do it. You guys have a great day. If you did score some of these, congratulations. And I'll see you guys on the next coin video. As always, peace.